Feel the body relaxing already. So good to be here. So as you continue to allow this breath to flow deep and full like this, we'll take a moment to connect with our intention for the class today. This week, I was thinking about the idea of I am. I caught myself in a moment of frustration where it's like my husband could do anything right or whatever. You know, everybody gets those. But in that frustration, if you were to use the term I am, and you're saying I am frustrated, it makes it almost like a bigger commitment to choose frustration, because of all the things you could choose to be, I was choosing frustration. And it makes me a little bit more conscious of, that's not the type of person I want to be. That's not what I really want to choose. And so it helped me to snap out of it and to take a bigger perspective so that I could choose something a little bit nicer. I could choose to be apologetic. I could choose to be compassionate. I could choose to be patient. And so that's what I'd like us to play with throughout class today, is just that idea of I am and being more conscious of what we're choosing. So it could be something huge like I am whole. I am healthy. The very essence of health. So we'll do lots of things that just feel good all over the body, especially good hips, hamstrings, shoulders, lots of these goodies. But as we go through, notice if you're holding on to more like a tense energy, maybe I have tension. See if we can change that to a different reality for our consciousness. So with that idea to lead us on, let's begin taking the knees into the chest. A hand on each knee, just rock out your low back a little bit. Good. We're going to take it just a nice, deep, almost restorative pose as our first one. So this one will require our strap. Take your strap, open it up, and you're going to loop the buckles together. So most of the straps work where you feed it through both buckles and then loop back through the last one to come back, and that'll hold your loop. So once you have a loop set up, you'll step your right ball of foot into one end of the loop, and then the back of your head into the other end. You've got your right leg captured. Your left leg you can either have the foot on the ground, that's easier, or leg all the way extended long, that's harder. So make sure it's right foot. Once you're here, if you want it tighter, you can have as much liberty as you want to adjust how tight or how loose you've got it set up. But essentially we should be stretching hamstring and the back of your neck all at the same time. Let me switch yours out. You've got kind of a shorter shoulder. So it should be stretching back of neck. Make sure you've set it in a spot where it'll stay, like it's not sliding off past the forehead. It's not falling back so your neck cranks back. Start gently stretching that hamstring. Give it time, give it breath. Again, if you need to loosen up your strap, you can always loosen it up a little bit. Two more breaths, trying to find even more extension. This right heel trying to travel up higher and higher. Another huge inhale. Good exhale. Gently release the head back to the ground. Both ends of the strap go into your right hand. I like to reach the right hand as close as I can up to the foot. If you can even grab your foot, that's fine as well. But take a moment to let this right leg open out wide to right. Feel how that shifts the muscles just a little bit. Right foot back up, left hand grabs on. Cross the leg over just to about a 45-degree angle. The hip is just starting to lift off the ground. This gets into the outer hip area. The hip will be what we explore here in just a moment. Beautiful. Hip goes back to the ground. Set the strap down for a moment. And we're going to take a baby cradle. So swivel this foot in. Left hand takes the foot, right hand puts the knee, and rock the baby cradle out. As that starts to feel really nice and relaxed through the hip, take your left knee in. It's a figure 4 stretch. So right ankle to left thigh, hands wrap around left. You can thread around the thigh or the shin, whatever you wish. You have a choice here. The more your hip needs, the more you use your arm strength to pull inward. Inhale, the exhale. Now we release the right foot, either foot on the ground or foot extending long. Take the strap around left follow foot, around back of head. Start to find that nice extension through the hamstring. Think of an I am statement that feels absolutely true right now. Something you'd like to choose in this moment. Maybe something like, I am calm. I am peaceful. Taking us out of just reaction, simply reacting to stimulus that comes up, becoming frustrated or whatever. It brings us into choice. One more good breath. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. Good. Release the head back to the ground. Left hand takes over both ends. Open leg to left. And leg rises up, right hand takes over. Crossing to about that 45-degree angle when you start to pull the IT band and the outer hip. Beautiful. Leg rises back up. Set the strap down. Let baby cradle for this left leg. Rock it out a few times. Eventually left ankle to right thigh. Figure 4 stretch. Clasp around thigh or shin, whatever you can reach. Maybe another opportunity to choose what you are. Last inhale. Easy exhale. Good work. Release, and we're going to work our way up to a seated place. Sometimes it feels nice to roll on your spine 2 or 3 times, just giving the spine a nice massage. Good. Eventually come up to just a nice seated place. Clasp hands behind the back. Shift your hands to right hip or right waist. Start to drop your right ear over your right shoulder. A chance for that left shoulder to really relax open. If it feels better to tilt your head slightly forward or slightly back, you're always welcome to make slight adjustments. Slowly let the head rise. And shift hands left hip or left waist, left ear to left shoulder. Head slowly rises, hands release. Bottoms of feet slide together. You can choose, maybe your feet are a little bit further forward, maybe they're tight in, it's up to you. Lift up the spine nice and tall as you tilt forward. Keep it tall for as long as you can. You reach a spot where it can't stay straight anymore, that's when you completely relax all the muscles. Especially the weight of the head just drops forward. Sometimes when there's neck tension, it's nice to just roll the head a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left here, continuing to ease that out. Slowly walk the hands in, rise the spine up. Let the feet plant wide in front of you. I'll take a few windshield wipers. So the knees tilt over to one side, the other. The next time your knees are to the front door where we came in, stay. Sitting upright, we've got our legs in this nice pinwheel shape now. So from here, turn over your right shoulder. Use your one hand on the ground, one hand on your knee. Just help that spinal loop. Especially let the neck be part of this. Gaze and go as far over that right shoulder as possible. Torso returns back forward. Walk your hands to the space behind you. This will start to get into this left quad. So maybe you end up on hands, maybe you end up on one elbow or both. Occasionally there's people that can lay all the way flat. So whatever feels best for that quad without needing to let the knee float up off the ground. Okay, let's start to rise. So plant the hands, raising up. Keep the right foot tucked in, the left leg opens out wide. So from here, you have a choice. Either to start to fall your torso directly toward that straight leg, or plant your left hand in front of that left leg, right arm up and over. So it's the difference between more of the hamstring or more of the side body stretch, whatever feels like your body is craving more right now. Okay, rising up, let both feet plant again. A few windshield wipers. Maybe you're noticing a little bit increased mobility. That's what we're going for, just step by step, incremental. The next time knees are to the back door, stay. So knees to left, twist over that left shoulder. Let the head be part of it. Even let your right shoulder kind of pull back so it accentuates and brings you into that right shoulder stretch while you're gazing over that. Good. Beautiful. Torso back forward. Into quad. So maybe you're on hands, maybe you're on elbows, or even further back. Just a good moment to note that we're not supposed to be in pain in yoga. So if ever you're in pain, that's a sign to back out of it. So knees especially, watch out for the knees. Okay, let's work on rising back up. And swivel the right leg open wide. Do the same thing you did on the other side. Either lean directly toward it or right arm up, sorry, left arm up and over. And let's rise. Swivel the knees underneath the body, kneeling. Take some cat-cows when you get there. Follow your breath. When you exhale, round the spine up to sky. You inhale, belly down, gaze. See if you can flow through that entire breath. You're only arriving at the very end of the inhale or the exhale. One more round. Then bumping the hands forward a little bit, we'll go back and forth between a back bend. So the hips start to push forward, we're arching. It doesn't have to be super deep. And then hips bubble backwards. Just pull into that child. So almost like a little seesaw or something like that. Just go back and forth. So back is a bigger chance to stretch. And then even keep the arch in your spine as you pull the hips back. Like undulating, rounding the spine forward. And pulling, arching back. 2 more. Whenever you finish the second one, stay for a few bonus breaths in the child pose, hips sinking back. From here, walk the hands off the left side of the mat. And walk the hands off the right side. Return back forward for a breath or two. Choose an I am statement that feels true in this moment. And start to rise up to a nice downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. And feel free to have motion. Bend one knee and then the other. So how that helps us to experience sensations through the calves and the hips. Kind of shifting things back and forth. Stay here perhaps a few more breaths, just enjoying this while it still feels amazing. Whenever you reach that point where you're ready to walk your way forward up to top of mat, you're welcome to come to a forward fold when you feel ready. The next inhale, let's rise up. Arms up to sky. It's the heart. Right hand comes to right side. Left hand circles up and over, relating to the side. Rise. Second side. Rise. Circle the arms up to sky, huge inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, the fingertips touch the ground. Step just your right foot back. Lower that knee all the way to the ground so we're like a lunge shape. Good. So take a few breaths here in the lunge. So hips are sinking as far forward as you can. Just make sure knee doesn't go past toes. Otherwise, toes scoot forward. Good. You can choose to stay here with hands on the ground. Some people like to walk hands up to thigh. Just make sure you don't back your hips off at all. You're still sinking forward. For those that wish to, you have the third option, reaching arms up to the sky. So again, only if it feels like it's helping the most. Beautiful. Arms rose. Let's start to drop back down to floor. And take a few rounds going back and forth between this front leg extending more straight and then back to the lunge. So start to ease into hamstring sit so that in a moment we can do a nice hamstring stretch. The next time the leg is straight, half split will stay. So lean forward. So for knees, front leg extended nice and straight. The best part is you can lift up high if you need to, or if you want to go deeper, chest gets closer to the thigh. Beautiful. From here, this left foot goes to the left. The toes are pointed to the left. The knee bends to like a 90-degree angle. Plant your hands. And similar to before, when we were going back and forth, that's kind of the motion that we're taking. So kind of take a slight arch to the spine and then kind of push your hips back. Now notice the leg in this position. You're getting much more into that hip joint. So feel free to kind of move in free-form ways. If you need to add little tiny adjustments that feel amazing. We're taking a few rounds, just easing deep into that hip. Okay, last one. And then from kind of a normal kneeling position with our 3 limbs, this left leg straightens itself back out, crosses past the mat. Good. So push your hips to the left and then gaze over your right shoulder to those toes. And as you release, your choice here, child pose, down dog, or a flow. A flow is plank, chaturanga, cobra, and down dog. Similar to before, stay as long as it feels helpful, good things are happening. When you reach that point where you're ready to come up to top of mat, eventually we'll all meet there. Next inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Open the elbows to each side and push the chest forward. Good. And clasp hands behind the back. Bend the knees. Set your torso down onto the thighs. And then pull the arms behind you. As far as they'll go. And just a really nice shoulder stretch. As you release the hands back to the ground, maybe the legs re-straighten a little bit. Inhale, slide hands up to shins, half left. Something to touch the floor. Left foot slides to back of mat. Lower the knees. Good. This is that lunge. Thinking forward. Maybe you stay with hands on the floor. Double check knee is not going past toes. Option 2, walk hands up to the thigh. Keep pushing the hips forward if you do that one. Option 3, for those who wish, maybe arms go up to sky. Your choice. Good. Should be feeling good opening sensation on the front of the left hip. That's the psoas. Just enjoy one more huge inhale. Good exhale. Hands down to floor. Go back and forth between straight leg and lunge a few rounds. To the next time when the leg is straight, stay. So my first emphasis here is straightening the leg as much as possible. And only then, if you need more, I'll kind of straighten my low back a little bit, tilt my chest a little closer, and then re-relax from that spot. Good. Now, the right leg goes to that 90-degree angle off to the side, and we start to go back and forth. Forward, kind of like the cobra, kind of like a kneeling plank is closer, and back, kind of like a child. Really relax deep into the hip area. Okay, up to the next one. It's like kneeling, except for that right leg is straight, crossing past the mat on the left. Push hips to right, gaze over your left shoulder. Into the outer hip and thigh again. As you start to release, child pose, down dog, or a flow, your choice. Same. Enjoy this as long as it's helpful. Eventually, we're up to top of mat, forward fold. And inhale, rise. Heart. Beautiful. Elbows open, chest forward. Hands back to heart. Okay, so shift your weight over your left foot. Your right knee rotates open, tree pose. Right knee open. So if this is the kickstand version, you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to challenge balance, maybe the foot comes up to ankle, calf, or thigh, never directly on the knee. The knee doesn't need any additional pressure. The knee opening. Good. Either stay here or go with me for a challenge. It's like the figure 4 we started with in class. You take that right ankle to that left thigh, and then you sit the hips back like you're about to go into a chair. Maybe your hands even come to the knee to help push the knee open a little bit. Optional challenge. One more good breath in, out, straighten up, the knee floats forward, kick back, warrior 3, maybe airplane arms, or maybe arms like here, it's your choice. Soft landing, the foot steps to the back of the mat, warrior 1, the front knee's bent. Good. Take backs of hands together in front of you. Circle up, inhale. Exhale, rotate your thumbs back and circle all the way back. The chest is open. Reverse that. Inhale. Backs of hands go together. Exhale, forward. Good. Release. Normal warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, open up warrior 2. Extended side angle. Rest the left elbow to left thigh. Right arm forward. Rising up, reverse, so right fingers to the right leg, left arm up and over, the front knee still bent, good. Got it. And rise. Turn the toes open, so you're facing toes to 45-degree angles, we're kind of towards the front door, hands to the inner knees, push the thighs open, good. Maybe a twist, right shoulder dips forward. Left shoulder. Release. Straighten the legs, turn the toes to the long edge of mat. Forward. You choose the arm position. Maybe hands just land down. Maybe they grab for ankles. Maybe they reach through the legs. Whatever's helpful right now. Start to bend the right knee, like a low side lunge. If your knees are aching at all, stay high. Otherwise, hips can go close to that heel. Your choice if you're playing with balance here, hands to heart. Or some people like to just go deep into the muscles, so then that would be elbows closer to the ground. Your choice. That's okay, that's okay. Just a good side lunge is really good for the muscle toning too. That's okay. Good. Okay, we're going to shift to the second side. So up and over. Whatever the quality was before, choose it again, low or bouncy, perhaps. Now turn your body up to the top of mat, flatten your hands, you're up on the back toes. For just a moment, swing that left leg up and back. You're stacking your hips and the toes behind your back. Really huge opening for the hips. And from here, you're stepping this left foot about halfway forward from where it was before. From there, for just a moment, walk yourself up your leg, straighten both legs. Make sure your hips are squared forward. And then we're taking pyramid pose. So dive your spine about halfway down and then start to walk your hands down the shin. Some people stay here. Some people continue to walk hands to the floor. You are welcome to release the weight of your head at the end, wherever your end is. Okay, hands are going to be on the floor, bumping forward a foot. Your right leg floats up high, standing split. And land that foot down, forward fold. Next inhale, we rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Open the elbows. Close. Weight shifts over to right foot. Rotate the left knee open, tree. Maybe you stay here, maybe the foot climbs to ankle, calf, or thigh. Option to stay or go to that challenge. The left ankle to right side, and then sit back like you're in a chair. Maybe hands help to push that left knee open. Rise, float the left knee. Back warrior 3. Airplane arms or arms by ears. Land warrior 1. Good. Backs of hands together in front of you long. Inhale, it rise up above head. Exhale, rotate the thumbs back, chest opening. Reverse inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, normal warrior 1 up. So rotate open warrior 2. Extended side angle, leaning forward. Warrior 2. Reverse. Warrior 2. Turning the toes to the 45-degree angles, hands to knees, push the knees open. Have like a goddess squat down. Option for left shoulder to dip forward. Right. Good. Straighten the legs, turn the toes to long edge of mat. One more chance to be here. Wide angle forward fold. Maybe there's a new arm position this time that your body's creating. With hands on the ground, walk over, hands closer to the left foot. We're in that Skandasana pose to the left or back of mat. Maybe a new variation from before, or maybe same good old one. And over to the right. Pivoting toward top of mat, we're up on the back toes, plant the hands. Swing the right leg up to three-legged dog. Toes come behind your back, hip opens. Step that right foot about halfway forward. From there, walk your hands up your leg for a moment. Come up high. Keep the hips square as you dive back down. Maybe you end up hands on shins. Maybe hands on floor or block. Bumping hands forward a foot, standing split, left leg floats. Left landing, forward fold. Let the hands up the shins, half lift. Find the hands to the floor, feet travel back. Hands goes down dog or last fold. Beautiful. So we'll go to a pigeon pose from here. So you can do this from down dog or from kneeling. Your right knee slides forward and through. Your left knee squeezes as far back as it can. Keep the sacrum level, meaning you're not rocking onto one hip. So sacrum stays level. Some people choose to stay here in the back bend. That can feel really nice. Some people choose to go to sleep. Your choice. Hands, shift back, or to kneeling, and then take some recovery time for your hips. So it can just be kind of shaking the hips left and right. It could be circles at the hips. Just time to ease some of that tension out. Whenever that feels good, left knee goes forward to the pigeon on mat. Same as before, you can stay lifted. You can go right away to sleeping, your choice. Beautiful opportunity to check in with your energy, create a beautiful I am state. This time as we're exiting, rock your weight to your left hip, swing the right leg forward. I'll take some of those windshield wipers again. So both knees to left, or to right, take a few times back and forth. Just seated for a moment, clasp hands behind back. Same as before, shift hands to right hip or right waist. Lengthen up and start to drop right ear over right shoulder. Adjustments as needed for this to be helpful. Starting to float the head up, switch hands to left ear to left shoulder. As you start to rise, if there's last stretches your body needs, take them. Otherwise, at any point, we'll go to our final Shavasana, which is that resting pose, like how we started class. It'll take different people different lengths of time to come to this place where we're ready to relax. So no rush getting there if you're still getting these last little bits of tension out of your body. But before you completely relax down, I want you to rub your hands together, create some warmth, and then rest that warmth over your eyes, at least for a couple of breaths, while you think of an I am statement that will lead you to your Shavasana. Stay there as long as it feels good. At some point, you're welcome for hands to drop down. Just let the beauty of that I am statement, the power of it, more so than the thought of it, like the feeling of already being that, let that feeling ease you into this beautiful Shavasana. No thoughts, just being right here, right now, with consciousness, awareness, but mostly just relaxation and breathing. For the last few minutes of class. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introduce little movements to the body, nice and small at first, fingers and toes. Eventually shifting up to opposite legs, stretching like it's first thing in the morning. Sometimes it feels nice to take a fetal position off to one side. If you'd like to, you're absolutely welcome. Perhaps 2 or 3 more good deep breaths. Be rising up to a comfortable seated place when you feel ready. Whenever we rise sooner or later, join hands together at heart. Connect back to your I am statement, something you'd like to lead you, something that would be helpful to lead you forward powerfully into this week. Something that maybe doesn't feel true right now, but by repeating this I am, we hope to become it. So therefore, I am whatever it is. Presence, peace, patience, love, compassion. With this power to lead us on into this marvelous week, let's wrap up the time that we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.